Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, Corporate Marketing Specialist. We're here to introduce you to the Qube companion set angles, 4-inch finished. Now we want to take a look at the shapes inside and show you some great ways to use them alongside the Qube mix and match 4-inch block.
Plus, Erica, we want to show our viewers how to use them to make this really cute pattern called Go Fractured Textiles. It's a fun weekend wall hanging project.
Absolutely. So let's get started by reviewing those shapes that come in the Qube mix and match 4-inch block, because that's really the foundation we're building from.
Indeed, indeed.
Now the Qube mix and match block contains 8 dies with 8 different shapes, a different one on every die. They're numbered 1 through 8, and those 8 shapes will work together to help you build over 72 quilt block designs. Right, Pam?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, our mix and match cube blocks now come in 6 different sizes. A 4-inch finish block, 6, 8, 9, 10-inch finish block, and a 12-inch finish block. Remember, quilters, each contain the same 8 basic shapes, numbered the same way. They're just in different sizes. The mix and match system is based on a 4-patch layout. So no matter what size you're working with, if you put 4 of shape number 1 together, you'll get that size finished block.
That means that with our 4-inch size, you get a 4-inch finished block when it's sewn into your project. Now, if you were to sew 4 of shape number 2 together, you would get 1 of shape number 1. And again, 4 of shape number 1 will make our 4-inch finished block. The 8 shapes are going to work together with that companion set angles too. So we want to take a closer look at those companion shapes.
All right, Erica, let's open one up.
Oh, let's.
All right, so the first thing you're going to notice about our companion set angles is that it comes in a storage container. It's going to allow you to store your dies correctly, be able to put your dies back where they belong.
And it'll look great on your shelf.
Yes. Now you want to pull this skinny one first, and inside we have a cutting mat and a pattern book. So already you're ready, set to go. Now the next one, we're going to pull out our bigger folder and open it up just like this. Ta-da! Now, just like in all of our other companion set angles, this has shapes 13, 14, 15, and 16. It includes the triangle and a square center, the triangle and a square sides, our kite shape, and our trapezoid shape.
So let's take a look at how these pieces actually work together.
All right.
So we're going to start with, if we start with 13, that is our triangle and a square center. So right here you see that.
And it's an isosceles triangle, so you want to make sure it's laying on the short side.
That's right. Then shape number 14 is actually going to be the sides.
So what you're going to do is put one on this side and another on this side. And look how we built in that 1/4-inch seam. It's going to sew together perfectly.
And it's going to equal 1 of number 1. So this basic unit is in so many designs. You see it in a lot of star designs. It can give you the illusion of a curve without actually being a curve, like in the Storm at Sea. And again, when it's sewn together, it's going to be the same size as shape number 1 from back in our mix and match block.
Excellent. Now, I love that you can also use those sides together to make them a half rectangle triangle.
So we would take this out, and again, we'd have them cut the right way, and we're going to talk about how to cut these in just a minute. And that would equal a rectangle the size of number 8.
In the original cube. And again, if we sewed 2 of these together, 2 rectangles together, it would equal shape number 1.
That's right. Those same side pieces will fit on either side of our kite piece over there that you have. So again, just like with our other shapes, when we put these sides on to either side of the kite piece, sew them together with our 1/4-inch seam allowance, we're making 1 of shape number 1.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. And then the final shape in our companion set angles is a trapezoid. I have never cut a trapezoid without a die.
No.
Never.
Me either. But you see this so often in patterns.
Right, so we're going to move some of our pieces again. So with this one, you're going to actually use shape number 5 from that original cube.
Our workhorse.
Yep, our little workhorse, our half square triangle, and then our larger half square triangle.
And that's shape number 3.
Right. And ta-da, when you sew all those pieces together, it's going to equal shape number 1.
You're right. So you'll find units like this in so many patterns. So think about how you would be making this unit if you didn't have the dies. So you'd be starting with 2 larger squares.
Right.
You'd be drawing a line from corner to corner. You'd be sewing. You'd be trimming. You'd be cutting them apart, pressing, trimming. Then you'd need a small square.
Right.
You'd go in the corner. You'd do the same thing over again. That's a lot of wasted time in fabric to me,
I
Pam.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Now with our dies, you're going to be cutting just what you need. And we've already cut off the dog ears for you. So
Yes.
from this point here to this point here is a perfect 1/4 inch seam. And I love that, don't you?
I absolutely do. So we also want to show you how these shapes work together to make our fractured textile wall hanging. So this pattern is available as a free download on AccuQuilt.com.
All right. Now, quilters, for this project, we're going to be using a variety of dies. So first we need shape number 4, which are 1/4 square triangles.
Right. We've got some cut already.
We have some cut already. Shape number 6, which is that great square on point die.
Yes.
And those are found both from the Qube mix and match 4-inch block.
Right.
Now, alongside that, we're going to cut triangle and a square. So we'll pull this die out. Triangle and a square sides. So we'll put that out, and our kite center.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to put these away. Now from our little thin folder, we're going to pull out our cutting mat.
Right.
So we are all ready to go.
Now you'll find all the cutting directions in the pattern, and we've already got a few of our shapes cut. We've got our square on point cut. Let's get some of these out of the way.
We'll move them for you.
There we go. So we've got our square on point cut. We've got some 1/4 square triangles cut.
Okay.
And before we go any further, we've got some tips on cutting some of our other pieces. And I think you've got a tip on how to cut that triangle in a square center.
Right. So this is our first pro tip. And I want to show you how to save fabric by doing our cut and flip method. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by measuring from here to here of our triangle and add a 1/4 inch on either side of the shape. Now, Erica, typically we tell our quilters that what we want to do is fan fold back and forth, right? But when you do that, you're going to waste all of this fabric around here. So what I'm going to do is you can always cut 6 layers of cotton. So you could stack your 6 layers here. I'm just going to do 1 today. All right. And I'm going to put my cutting mat on. So basically I'm just coming right here to the edge. All right. Just barely covering that shape. Put on my cutting mat. Now listen, don't worry about this little tail. There are no blades inside our cutter. They're just in the die.
They're just in the die.
Okay. So today, since it's on a 6x6 die board, we can use it in all of our cutters, including our Go Me. So that's what we're going to use today. All right. We want to give our mat a little bit of love. Static built up. Slide our mat. Don't lift. So now look, we've cut that perfect isosceles triangle. Now, instead of fan folding, I'm going to take my stack and I'm going to flip it.
Look at that.
Just like that. And I'm going to line it up right where we've just cut the previous shape. And I'm going to do the method the same thing.
You're going to have hardly any waste at all.
Hardly any.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is such a great method. And it works, Erica, for all of our triangles.
That is great. That is a great tip.
Let's take a look. Give it a little love. Slide that mat right off. And look, now we've cut our next isosceles triangle. So look at this fabric. Isn't this great? We've hardly wasted any fabric at all.
That's great. Perfect.
So you would continue to flip and cut until all of your triangles were finished.
Fantastic. Well, the next one we want to look at, we've got a different tip for cutting the kite center.
Okay.
So this is our kite center. We're going to be cutting both white and black.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because we need both of those colors in our block. And we're going to use cut and shift on this one, right?
All right. Yes. All right. So in order to do the cut and shift method, what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to measure from here to here, right? At a 1/4 inch on either side. And I'm going to line up both pieces of fabric.
Right.
Okay. Now you can do 6 layers if you wanted to.
You can.
All right. And again, don't worry about this little tail. There's no blades.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
Just don't fold it up over the mat.
No, just kind of tuck it in
That's
next
a bad
to it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Give it a little love. We're going to slide this mat, don't lift. Now we've cut our perfect kite shapes.
Perfect. Now what we're going to do now, instead of turning it around, is we're just going to shift that fabric over, right?
We are. Just like this.
Just like that. And we could actually come in and give it a little trim here.
Yep.
Just get it out of our way.
And again, we're just barely covering that shape, quilters. Put our mat back on.
And we're going to cut again.
Yep. So again, you would continue to do this until all of your kite shapes were cut. Give it some love, slide, and ta-da.
Perfect. That's great.
Great.
I love that. So we've got one last pro tip on cutting, and it's going to be about the sides.
Right. Now, this is what I call a directional die, Erica.
Yes.
We want to make sure that we're fan folding our fabric back and forth. If we lay our fabrics facing up, you're only going to have the left side, and you're going to be cranky about that.
Right, you will be.
Okay. All right. So we're going to measure from here to here at 1/4 inch, cut our strip, and fan fold back and forth across the shape.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. And again, I'm just going to make sure that it's covering that shape. Put on our cutting mat and run it through the cutter.
That's great.
Give it a little love, slide that mat, don't lift. And now look, we have cut perfect sides for our kite and our little isosceles triangles.
Perfect. Okay. Well, now we've got all of our cutting done. So let's look at how to put this block together.
Okay.
Basically, we have 3 different units that we're going to build.
Okay.
So we're going to start in the center, and this is going to be the white kite and the pink isosceles.
Okay.
And those are going to go together. Next, we've got our kites in the corner with the side pieces.
Right.
And then the third unit are going to be the side pieces.
Perfect.
Okay. So I am going to tell you that when I sew this together, I think you want to lay out your block.
Always.
So it's great for chain piecing, but I would suggest laying it out so that you've got the pieces all on the right side and you've got everything where you need it to go.
And I would tell you also to make a test block just to make sure you cut the pieces right.
Absolutely.
Know how to sew it together.
So we want to take a look at how some of these pieces go together. So when we were doing our isosceles and our kite, and I want to show the dog ears because this is what is so cool about this piece.
Super slick.
They line up just perfectly, and the dog ears are going to fit. And then when you do your 1/4 inch seam allowance at your machine, it's going to line up just perfectly for you when you find your foot pedal.
There you go. And I'm going to tell you, quilters, that you want to press your seams open.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I've got another
So
one
now
over
look
here.
at how Erica's just chain piecing for days.
I'm just going to chain piece those. And then the next piece that we're going to go ahead and lay out is going to be the black kite, and we're going to put the side corners on that. Pam, if you can look at that laid out for me, I'll get this
We're
through.
going to just do one side at a time, quilters, so that it lines up. But again, look, we've cut off those dog ears. From this point here to this point here is a perfect 1/4 inch seam.
Perfect. Okay.
And look how easy you could just chain piece this together.
Right. I'm going to get this going. And then I would want to give that a little press before I went ahead and sewed my next piece on. So I'm going to hand these to you and get our pressing supplies. Okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right. Then we can look at how we're going to build that side piece. And this is a great construction. So I want to lay this out for you. So we've got our center pieces. And again, we're going to build it just kind of like it's
Like a pinwheel block.
Like a pinwheel block almost. You're right. And we'll have the other 2 over there. That'll be our center. Now this side piece that you see is our square on point. So we've got
This is so
that
clever,
there.
Erica. I never even thought about how to put this together.
I love this. Then we're using our 1/4 square triangles. Now, quarter square triangles can be tricky, right?
They can. You want to make sure that you lay them out correctly. Now this is shape number 4 because they're quarter square triangles.
That's right.
From the Qube Mix and Match block. And the last part of this unit, and Erica, this was so clever. I never thought about how to make this.
It really is.
Will be our square and point, which is shape number 6 from our cube. And Erica's going to show you how to put all the quarter square triangles together.
And the key is you want to be sure you're keeping that outside edge, which is going to be your lengthwise grain. You want to keep that pointing the correct direction. So that's going to help you keeping it straight. So how you're going to get started is sewing your pieces that are across from each other. So we're going to sew these pieces on either side or these pieces on either side, because then we're going to be constructing half square triangle units basically to go on the other side.
Correct.
So I'm going to go ahead and get these sewn on.
And see, the quilters, this is so important why you just need to lay out your block.
You just need to lay it out, or just lay it out and leave one laid out.
And again, Erica, this is a great block that you could do chain piecing on.
You really can. When I was making my block, I laid it out like that so that I could keep track. I just laid one out all the way and then sewed my other pieces. So there's the first one. Now this piece is going to go kind of the opposite direction.
Right. Now quilters, it's really important that you treat those quarter square triangles like quarter squares. Now, once you've made 9 blocks, and that's all you're going to need for your entire project. So total weekend project, you could just make it really fast and easy.
It's really fun. So we've got that. Now we've got one piece that I had already pressed out.
There we go.
That was going to fit in. And we've got our other pieces here. We're going to sew these 2 together.
Okay.
I'll give you this one to press. We had those 2 sewn together. We have these sewn together. They're going to go all together and make our unit right here.
And this is, again, you want to make sure you're pressing your seams open because these are tiny, tiny little pieces.
They are tiny, tiny little pieces. And again, when I say laying your pieces out, we want to make sure we're keeping that. We're sewing the right part of that quarter square together. How often have you done that? I have done it
than I'm ever going to
so many times. So many times.
More times than I'm going to admit. Oh, here. See, this is why we lay them out.
This is why we lay them out, because we get confused. Okay. And put these together.
Now, you're a big fan of the 6-inch block, so you must be loving the 4-inch cube.
I love the 4-inch cube. Okay, is there anything cuter than that little kite shape?
No,
I tell you what.
It's darling. Here's another little pro tip that we're going to talk about. When you're sewing those sides to that kite shape, you want to start from the wide end to the narrow end. Press your seams open, wide end to the narrow end, because our pieces are so little.
Right. And these would go on either side when they get pressed open. We're good to go.
Ta-da, ta-da.
So, there we go. Right there. I love that. You could use that for borders.
You could.
There's so many uses for that.
I really, really like that block.
I love it. So our block, when you get all your pieces done, you're going to sew your 3 rows together. You're done.
Right.
Now the sashing is going to be cut with your 2.5-inch strip die, and you'll sew your rows together, top, bottom sashing strips from the same die, just like you see. Add the border, press well, your top is done.
And to finish your project, you want to lay the top with your batting and backing, pin or baste, and then quilt as desired. You want to make sure you bind it with your favorite method, and don't forget to miter those corners.
Absolutely. We know you're going to enjoy making the Go Fractured Textiles Wall Hanging, along with many, many other projects using the Go Qube 4-inch companion set angles. Because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more.